So maybe you finally decided you're going to start investing for retirement, for your future. You're not really sure where to start, and you've kind of looked into some stuff and you've seen about a 401k, and you're wondering, is that going to be enough? Well, there's a bunch of people who want to build wealth for the future, and one of the best pieces of advice that they can be given is that your workplace 401k is going to be a good, solid foundation for your retirement plan. Now, that's not exactly the most exciting investing tip out there, but you know what is exciting? Becoming a millionaire. According to the National Study of Millionaires, 8 out of 10 millionaires said their 401k was their main wealth building tool, and there's a good reason for that. Let's go over a couple of reasons why a traditional 401k is a great place to start for your retirement plan. Now, if your employer matches your contributions, and most of them do, you get basically an instant 100% return on part of the money you invest in your 401k. That's free money. Why wouldn't you take it? Then you get tax deferred growth, right? That just means your money's going to grow faster. Pre tax contributions lower your taxable income, which makes it easier to invest more. Right? You can invest up to $20,500, and if your spouse has a 401k, they can also invest that amount. If you're 50 or older, your contribution limit increases to $27,000 per year, and that's to help you catch up. Now, the 401ks do have some shortcomings. First, you've got a limited number of mutual funds to choose from, which can keep you from investing in high performing funds. Second, your 401k's tax deferred growth is a double edged sword. While it works to your advantage while you're saving today, it means you'll owe taxes on the money you withdraw from your 401k in retirement tomorrow, unless your employer offers a Roth 401k, which we're going to get to that a little bit later. Now, that's why you usually need more than just a traditional 401k, right? Now, where else can you put your hard earned investing dollars to work? Well, that's why we want to talk about the Roth IRA. Let's start by talking about some of the advantages, right? Because almost 3/4 of the millionaires, right, said that they invested out of their workplace retirement plan. Now, it's not either or, it's both. And when it comes to investing beyond your 401k, the best tool you can use is a Roth IRA. The Roth IRA is the butter to the 401k's popcorn, right? They just go better together. So you've got tax-free growth and withdrawals. When you retire, you'll be able to use the money in your Roth IRA tax-free, right? Tax-free. Don't pay any taxes on it, right? A tax-free option will come in handy since most people expect tax rates to be higher in the future. Then you've got flexibility. You can work with an investment pro to choose from thousands of mutual funds to invest, throughout your whole Roth IRA portfolio, which means that you can choose those high performing funds and diversify with different fund types however you want. Now, these might seem like minor details, but they can make a big difference in the size of your nest egg over time. Well, how do the tax free withdrawals help your retirement savings? Well, when you retire, the money you've saved in your Roth IRA will stretch further than your 401k savings for one big reason: taxes. Now, how badly can taxes reduce a lifespan of your retirement account? Okay, let's say you've got a 401k and a Roth IRA, and you want to withdraw $25,000 from each account so that you can have a $50,000 annual income in retirement. On the Roth IRA side, you could take out $25,000 from your account every year and not owe any taxes on it. Not a problem. And since most Roth IRA withdrawals in retirement do not count as taxable income, it puts a little less stress on you once tax season rolls around. But your 401k savings is a little bit different. Those withdrawals will count as taxable income. And if your retirement income puts you in the 12% tax bracket, that means you'd actually have to withdraw around $28,000 from your 401k every year to cover the taxes and still get the income that you need. While an extra $3,000 might not seem like much, those numbers start to add up over time. Using that scenario, you would end up withdrawing almost $100,000 more out of your 401k than your Roth IRA to maintain that income over the course of a 30-year retirement. It's a lot of money. The point here is that taxes you'll owe on your traditional 401k savings in retirement put more pressure on your investments to perform better and bring in higher returns. Meanwhile, retirement savings inside of Roth accounts take taxes out of the equation entirely. right? And it's a pretty clear choice. Take advantage of Roth IRAs and Roth 401ks whenever and wherever you can. Now, there's flexibility of a Roth IRA, but how does that really work in your favor? Because while your 401k plan might not have a lot of mutual funds to pick from, you can choose from any of the thousands of existing mutual funds for your Roth IRA. Now, how do you know which funds are right for your portfolio? Well, you should probably work with an investment professional you trust to help you weigh the pros and cons of, the different fund options. With thousands of funds to choose from, you can select good growth stock mutual funds to build what the investment experts, might call a well-diversified portfolio to grow that retirement nest egg. That might sound like that's boring, but aside from increasing the amount you invest for retirement, spreading out your investments by selecting a balanced mix of mutual funds is probably the best thing you can do with your retirement savings. A Roth IRA gives you the freedom to choose a balanced mix of mutual funds for retirement. You should split your portfolio evenly between these four types of mutual funds. You've got growth, aggressive growth, growth and income, and then international. Okay. Well, we said that you should invest in your 401k and a Roth IRA, but how do they work together? Well, when you invest in your workplace 401k and a Roth IRA, you combine the power of the match in your workplace 401k with the tax-free withdrawals and flexible fund options of a Roth IRA. It's just a winning combination. Investing in two retirement accounts isn't complicated. You just got to do a little quick math. Once you're debt-free and you have your emergency fund, which is about 6 months of your expenses, you should invest somewhere around 12 to 15% of your gross income for retirement. That means if you're making about $50,000 per year, you're going to try to invest about $7,500 into retirement. So how would you divide that between your 401k and your Roth IRA? Well, if your employer matches contributions up to 4% of your pay, right, then you'd contribute $2,000 a year to that 401k with your employer. The remaining $5,500 would go into your Roth IRA, and then you're done. Now, I'm sure you have some questions. There's some lingering what ifs in your mind, right? Okay. Well, what if my employer doesn't match my contributions? Well, if that's the case, max out your Roth IRA first. If you still have money to invest, you can invest in your company plan and at least take advantage of your 401k's tax benefits. Well, what if my employer doesn't offer a retirement plan at all? Then go max out your Roth IRA first. And then, if you still haven't hit 15%, you can open up a taxable brokerage account to invest in growth stock mutual funds. What if I max out my Roth IRA and still haven't met my 15% goal? Well, the contribution limit for Roth IRAs for 2022 is $6,000 per person for the year, and it increases to $7,000 if you're 50 or older. So it's possible that you might not reach 15% of your income after maxing out your Roth IRA. But don't worry. If that happens, go back to your 401k and invest the rest there to take advantage of your 401k's tax-deferred growth. Okay. What if my employer offers a Roth 401k option? Well, that's fantastic. A Roth 401k works almost exactly like a Roth IRA. It's funded with after-tax dollars, so your contributions grow tax-free. That means when you withdraw money in retirement, you won't have to pay taxes on your contributions or its growth, but you will have to pay taxes on the match your employer provided. If you have good mutual funds to choose from, you can simply invest your entire 15% in your Roth 401k. So when it comes to your 401k and your Roth IRA, you don't really need to pick sides, right? The investment you choose for both accounts, they really should complement each other, and you should try to be invested in both, right? They should work together to help you make the most of the stock market's growth while limiting your risk. So if you don't have a 401k, try to max out a Roth IRA, right? If you don't have a company 401k. So, again, try to keep them working together, try to keep them as balanced as you can, but try to, max out your Roth IRA first, and then, you're remaining in your 401k. And if you don't have that company 401k, then, there's no reason why you can't have both, but definitely always max out that Roth IRA first. Hopefully there's some good information in here, learned a little something to help you further, your retirement savings or maybe put you on the right track. But if you liked the video, smash that like button. And if you're not subscribed to the channel, I'd appreciate if you did. But until I see you guys in the next video, y'all be safe.